Welcome back to another episode of Entertainment News Break. We're your hosts. I'm Mercedes.
And I'm Brandon. A new television series is coming to CBS this fall. Me, Myself, and I is an upcoming comedy series starring Bobby Moynihan, Jaleel White, and more. The show follows the life of an inventor and businessman, Alex Riley, through the years at three major points in his life. Audiences get to see Riley at 14 when he moves to Los Angeles, as a 40-year-old when he goes through the breakup of his marriage, and as a 65-year-old in the future who retires. Tune in to catch the defining moments of Riley's life when the show premieres September 25th on CBS.
Also coming to television screens September 25th is a new drama show called The Brave. The Brave gives us a look into the complicated world of the courageous military heroes that continue to make life sacrifices despite the complex and dangerous mission that lie ahead of them. Catch this drama when it premieres this fall on NBC.
A crossover of Lee Daniels' two music-themed dramas is coming to Fox. Empire and Star will collide September 27th, beginning with the Season 4 premiere of Empire at 8 p.m. and the Season 2 premiere of Star at 9 p.m. Specific details of the crossover have been kept secret, but Taraji P. Henson as Cookie and Queen Latifah as Coletta will meet. Tune in to see what the girl group is up to this time around after Atlanta Next Fest, as well as the result of Lucius's first public appearance since the explosion that left him in a coma.
Coming to theaters September 22nd is a true story following the life of Jeff Bauman, an ordinary man who became a symbol of hope after the infamous 2013 Boston Marathon bombing. Bauman captured the hearts of his city and the world, and this movie gives viewers a look into his heroic journey, as well as his family's bond, his community's pride, but mostly his courage to overcome his misfortune. This drama comes to theaters nationwide.
Tom Cruise plays a 1980s drug smuggler in our next film. Cruise plays Barry Seal in this upcoming biographical crime film. Seal, a former TWA pilot, becomes a drug runner for the Medellin cartel in order to avoid jail time. He serves as an informant for the DEA. American Made is the first film directed by Doug Liman to be released by Universal Pictures since The Bourne Identity. Coming to theaters nationwide in 2D and IMAX September 29th.
Our last film is a sci-fi drama in which a group of medical students subject themselves to near-death experiences. Flatliners is the remake of the 1990s film in which these students see if anything lies beyond the big sleep. As they are faced with manifestations of childhood sins, whether or not what they're experiencing is real or hallucinations, is the question brought into play. Flatliners comes to theaters September 29th.
Well, that's all the time we have for TV and movies. Up next, we have Pope with a movie review on this year's Pirates of the Caribbean. Stay tuned.
Hey guys, I'm back again with some more movie reviews. This season, I'm starting out with this summer's Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. Now I know I just heard all of you groan, and it's a long series, I understand that, but if you put Pirates together with Disney, man, you know I gotta go see that. So I'm going to talk about some pros first. Pros, of course, the cinematics. I love first off, the soundtrack. You know, Pirates of the Caribbean has a very distinct soundtrack. Like, you could hear, I think it's like 5 notes, and you're just like, that's Pirates of the Caribbean. And of course, like, I played it in high school, because who doesn't? So I was really, you know, I love the soundtrack. I love the music and all the different instruments and the orchestra. And even the, like, you know, the special effects they put in with the new technology that's, you know, progressed since, like, the first one came out however many millennia ago. You know, we have all these different types of programs and all, like, you know, the different types of creatures and stuff they can create in these, you know, computers. So I was really excited about that, and I really enjoyed it. I thought, you know, when the ocean was splitting and you could, you know, the darkness of it, contrasted by, you know, the light when they went on like this big jeweled island. I thought, you know, they planned that out very well. So there was, like, you know, some darker themes because of course there's got to be, it's Disney. And of course there's, you know, lighter to kind of give it that contrast. Some movies you see, you know, nowadays that have like a, you know, the darker scenes, they don't really show off the more light effects. And I thought this Pirates of the Caribbean movie did that really well. And of course they did keep a lot of the same actors. Love me some Orlando Bloom. Just got to scrape a couple of those barnacles off his face, and, you know, he's good. And, you know, they kept, you know, Captain Jack Sparrow and the guy who played, like, Gibbs. You know, I loved how they, you know, try to keep the same, you know, actors for their characters, because it wouldn't be, you know, the same if you try to replace someone or if you brought in like someone new to play someone who is like dearly beloved. So I thought, they did that very well, trying to keep it like, even though the series had been going on for like millennia, they keep the same actors. I do also enjoy how kind of emotional it got. Some action, and I would label this as an action movie in a sense. There's not really a lot of emotional ties to it. So it's just like, some ships exploding, some weird, guy who was burned alive, his face falling off, like, oh, that's all nice and dandy. But if I'm not emotionally connected to a movie, then I'm just gonna leave it being like, oh, it looked pretty, but it didn't really give me that satisfaction. But this Pirates of the Caribbean movie did that, between Barbados and his whole like daughter situation and things like that, and even like the emotional ties we have to, Captain Jack Sparrow at this point. I feel like they covered a wide range of like you being happy and then like scared and then, kind of funny, because you have to throw some jokes in now and then. So I feel like they had a really good, equilibrium of, these emotions, and they really kept you like emotionally interested. They didn't like have a few jokes scattered here or there to, get a couple chuckles out of you. They really thought about it and, tore at your heartstrings at some points. Now, of course, every movie has its cons. The first one I really noticed was how drunk Captain Jack Sparrow was. Like, I get it, he's down in the dumps, his ship's stuck in a bottle, he's kind of broke at this point. So I get it, he turned to the rum. But oh my God, like you made him like so drunk that at some points I couldn't stand it. I was like, oh my God, like he's like this stupid. Now, of course, like we know we've all come in contact with drunk people, so it was relatable in that sense. But it was also just annoying to a certain point where I'm just like, oh my God, like sober him up, like please. Also, I didn't like the unnecessary love plot between Barbados' daughter and then, Orlando Bloom's characters, or yeah, you know what I mean, son. And I just like felt that was like very unnecessary, and it just seemed forced at one point. Like, oh, his son sees pretty girl, instantly falls in love. Like, no questions asked. So I thought that was kind of like unnecessary. Like, I get it, you needed some new love thrown in there because everyone else's love's kind of like old at this point, and Jack gets slapped by multiple women because why not? Throw that in there. So I just thought that was like a little unnecessary. Another con was Barbados' kind of character and his like ties with it. Was he good? Was he bad? At some points, like I had to count on my fingers, I took notes because I lost it at some points. I'm just like, is he gonna be a good guy this time? Oh, nope, Salazar is talking to him or whatever, so he's gonna be a bad guy this time. And it's just like, I get it. Barbados in most of the movies have been out for himself. He only looks after him, and if it helps him out, he'll help you this time. But if it doesn't help him out, he'll probably, stab you in the back. So that was one of the like cons. Like I get it, he's looking out for himself, but like, dude, pick a side. Because at the end, like you're gonna have people that freaking hate you and, are glad that you sacrificed yourself. But, then there's those who like felt for him and, was kind of sad. So, the future for the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. Are they gonna make more? Probably. They always I feel like the series is just, like gonna slowly die out, but not for another like century or two. So they're gonna keep making more, and the sad part is I kind of want at least like one more because there's some questions that I kind of want answers to. They're not really pressing, but Disney, if you want to hook a girl up, that'd be pretty great. So now we're going to take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have Brandon with this box office top 5, and later Tiffany and Nayland will be discussing this week's hottest celebrity news. Don't miss it.
Welcome back. I'm Brandon, and this is this week's box office top 5. Taking the number 5 spot this week is The Hitman's Bodyguard, directed by Patrick Hughes. The film focuses on the world's top bodyguard working together with a hitman to testify at the International Court of Justice. Will the two be able to put their differences aside and work together? Find out in theaters now. At number 4 this week is the romance dramedy Home Again, directed by Hilly Myers-Shire. Reese Witherspoon plays a single mom who allows 3 young men to move in with her, resulting in her life being turned upside down. Check it out in theaters now. At number 3 this week is Jennifer Lawrence's newest film, Mother. This mystery drama depicts a couple whose relationship is tested when an uninvited guest enters their home. Find out what happens to the couple in theaters. Taking the second spot this week is Michael Kushta's newest action thriller, American Assassin. Dylan O'Brien and Michael Keaton star as CIA Black Ops recruits as they try to help a Cold War veteran in stopping a nuke launch toward the Middle East. Our number one spot this week belongs to none other than Andy Muschietti's remake of the classic horror film It. Based on Stephen King's book by the same name, it follows the horror stories of a shape-shifting demon that takes the form of a clown, otherwise known as Pennywise, who hunts and kills young children. So far, the film has brought in $218 million and is expected to bring in more as the weeks go on. And that's it for this week's Box Office Top 5. I'm Brandon, and up next we have this week's movie. Hi guys, welcome back to this week's film discussion. I'm here with Pope, and we will be discussing the new Star Wars film, Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Pope, what are your expectations for The Last Jedi?
I mean, my expectations coming from a series that's been in the making for not just this series, but the whole Star Wars universe in general has been around for years upon years. So my expectations for this movie are pretty high, though I'm not as emotionally vested in the Star Wars universe as some older generations or even people my age. So I think I have higher expectations than a lot, because I'm not comparing it to the older movies and I'm not comparing this instance to another instance. So I feel like I'm coming in it with new eyes per se. So my expectations aren't super high or super low, but I'm just really excited to see where they're gonna take this movie in terms of cinematics. I'm really excited to see, with all this new technology, where they're gonna take this series, and also even the music and stuff like that. So I'm mainly looking at that kind of stuff, and that's what I'm expecting to be really high.
Yeah. I'm interested in it, but I would say the word to use to describe my feelings on Last Jedi are polarizing. Because on one half, I'm it's being directed by the guy that directed the excellent time travel film Looper. And Looper was this excellent movie about this guy that time travels and hunts people and kills their future selves and stuff like that. It was pretty interesting. And he's a great writer. And of course there was a lot of press about the writing of the new film being good. So I have faith in that. It's just, like with any franchise, it's studio interference. It's how is the studio going to touch this and craft it into something that's so safe that there's really nothing to get out of it? Because Force Awakens had a lot of good points, especially the new characters. Rey and Finn were an entertaining cast, but the plot was so close to the original Star Wars movies to an almost copying level that I'm kind of afraid of Last Jedi basically becoming Empire Strikes Back, but with these characters instead. But as far as Star Wars as a franchise, yeah, I have high hopes for Last Jedi. I'm just kind of concerned about the future.
Oh yeah, I definitely see, because you look at movies that have multiple generations and multiple stories and things like that, and you do get worried where else can they take this? And you pointed out earlier about how the plot and stuff was so like the originals and the ones that came before it, that it's kind of worrisome. Are they just going to keep making carbon copies with new faces? So the newer generation doesn't really see it, but you get those people who have seen all of them and studied them, and they're going to scrutinize. They're going to pinprick every little detail about this movie franchise. So that's honestly what I'm worried about. Is people are going to scrutinize it in a way that that it kind of just defeats the whole purpose of making these new characters and trying something new. But going back on the director, directing a movie like Looper, where you have to make sure everything lines up.
Yes.
I feel he's going to bring something into this that a lot of directors will get mixed up. You have to have a certain expertise in directing movies that could have multiple loopholes and mistakes that could be pinpricked. So I feel since he has this directing expertise about kind of confusing timelines and stuff like that, I feel he's going to make sure that there's not a lot that people can point out mistakes.
Right. No, that's an excellent point, and that's what I'm interested in, because one of the most interesting twists of Force Awakens for me was the character of Finn, a stormtrooper that decides that what they're doing is wrong and he wants to fight with the good guys, but he's kind of on both sides in a way, and he's kind of fighting himself on the inside, and I thought that was very interesting. But he ends Force Awakens getting cut through the spine with a lightsaber, so I'm kind of curious to see what they're gonna do. And as far as, like, the trailer for Last Jedi did not really sway my opinions in any way. Like, they just show him, you know, like laying on a hospital bed, and it was more just Lucas training Rey, and I was just like, okay, I mean, this is kind of just the setup in many ways of Empire Strikes Back, but I guess you can sort of imply that Finn is sort of like Han, where Han was, you know, encased in carbon at the end of Empire Strikes Back, and so they're kind of mixing things around. I'm just curious to see how much of it is going to be an original story. The thing I'm afraid of with Star Wars is as the years go by. It seems like Disney's plan is that every year we're going to have a new Star Wars film in between the main episodes to tide us over and make sure we never lose track of our Star Wars. So last year we had Rogue One. Coming up next year, they're having a movie that's a prequel, like Han Solo film, where they're going to cast a different guy as Han Solo, talking about his adventures, I guess, pre the original trilogy. And that sounds fine. The problem is that apparently behind the scenes, directors are being replaced constantly. So it's, I don't know, we'll see as time goes on. Well, that's all we have for now. After the break, we have Tiffany and Nayland with this week's hottest celebrity news. Stay tuned.
Hey guys, we're back. That's Nayland.
That's Olivia.
And that's Tiffany.
And we're here to bring you the hottest,
The latest.
The juiciest
celebrity
news.
Okay, so. Okay, but guys, all right. So, first we're going to talk about Selena Gomez. I don't really have anything to say about her.
So, like, what's new about her? What's new?
I read online today that she recently got a kidney transplant. And I read that from like her sources that she's doing pretty well and that she's recovering quickly. And her boyfriend, The Weeknd, I guess has been FaceTiming her a lot and she feels good about that. I really like her because I think that she's an inspiration to young women, and I really like how she opens up about everything that's going on in her life, whether it be struggles or good things.
See, that's my problem. I feel like she didn't open up because, like, I was just on Instagram one day. I know I never go on it, but I was just on it. And then, like, she came up and it was like, hey, guys, I'm in the hospital getting a kidney. Like, she didn't even let her fans know, like, her true fans.
Sure.
Like, I think I just found a problem with that. What about you?
Because, like, didn't it happen in the summer or whatever? So,
I don't even know.
it happened, like, a while ago. And she was just, like, had random pictures of, like, her getting a kidney. So, I don't know. I think it's, like, if I was her fan, like, a big fan, I would be like, why are you waiting until now to tell me? But
I didn't even know she had lupus.
Right.
Did you?
Really? Yeah, I knew that.
I didn't know.
so, yeah.
But, like, okay, so we hope she's doing well.
Yeah,
Hope you're doing well. Another thing, did you guys know she has, like, the most followers on Instagram?
Yeah, she popping. She got, like, 100 or something.
That's crazy. Why?
I mean,
Wasn't she just in Wizards of Waverly Place?
Yeah. I don't know where that came from. Maybe it's her photo quality. You know, she be taking them.
It has to be it because, I mean, like, there's other people. Like,
She is beautiful.
she is.
Yeah.
So
She
that-
takes really good pictures.
But, you know, I think that Beyonce should have a little more, too. So, yeah, y'all do that.
I should have warned you that she's going to bring up Beyonce into any
And everything.
conversation ever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going to move on to not Beyonce, but Rihanna. She has a whole new makeup line, guys,
Yes.
and it's, like, amazing.
She got 40 shades for everybody, like.
Shades. 40
For-
shades
yes.
of Rihanna. What do you think about the makeup line?
I think, I'm trying to like, I only looked it up a little bit, but I don't know that
She's
much.
so excited about it, that's why.
So it's like 40 shades of different foundations.
Yes.
I think I heard about that. I think that that's really great for everyone's like skin tone and skin type because I think it makes everyone feel like that they're accepted in
Right.
the world we live in. And I think that sometimes girls don't know how to find like this doesn't match
Exactly.
me. So I think that it's really good that finally someone came out with something that
Right.
will definitely have something for everyone.
I think it's pretty good. I don't know anything about makeup.
Right, me either.
I don't know the difference from foundation and concealer and highlight and all that stuff. I don't know where to put it where. But I know that it's really good for, like, especially, like, people of color because I know that we go to the store sometimes and we can't find our right color. Like it's too light for us, and there's never like a dark color. But like now she has like every single color, and he was telling me that she had colors for like albino.
Yeah, it was a girl. She's albino, of course, and she even had a shade. Like Rihanna has a shade for her, and I think that's really good because, you know, we kind of leave out like people like them too. But like everybody needs a shade, and that's what she got. So it's really good, I think.
So I got a question for you guys. Are you gonna go pick up some Fenty makeup?
Maybe. Sure.
Are you?
No. I mean, I'm natural. But like I would, because it's not that. It's only like $32 for their foundation. So I mean, I might.
But I bet you if it was Beyonce, she'd pick it up.
I probably wouldn't.
All right, sure. All right, our last topic of the night, guys, is Kevin Hart.
Oh my God. It's not good either.
It's not. You know, I wish I had some good things to say about him because, you know, he's hilarious.
Yes.
But he done messed up, y'all.
Real bad.
What did Kevin Hart do?
He cheated on his wife.
Yes.
He is a cheater.
His wife.
His
Not his first wife. His second wife. Okay. So if you guys didn't know, Kevin Hart cheated on his first wife when he had 2 kids. Now he cheats on his second wife when she's like bringing a baby into the world.
He not looking so good right now.
It's not.
No.
And then like the whole bad thing about it is he lied about it at first. Like it happened and then he came out and he was like, this is the type of stuff that I laugh at. Like I didn't do this. And then like 2 weeks later, I'm really sorry. I want to apologize. Like what did he post on Instagram?
He posted a picture saying like the first picture was, oh, people get me in bad situations or something like that. And then he posted something, I want to really apologize to my kid and family and wife. You can't just do that. Like, come on.
Like, why must you lie? Because, you know, like, somebody gonna find out.
I know, like, you're Kevin Hart. Like, it's gonna get out there. Like, we saw the video. Like, you were in the car with the girl, Kevin. Ugh. He gotta do better.
You know men like to lie anyway, so I'm not really surprised.
So, if you were his wife, would you get back together with him?
Yeah, that's just, I mean, cheating is a big mistake, but like, that's one thing. I'm not wasting all that effort I put in, and then we marry. Like, I'm not wasting it. I'm keeping that ring. Like, no.
Would you get back together with him?
I think it would depend on the situation and how you like can work it out. Like I know most people would say no, but like when you're married and pregnant, there's like a lot more stuff to consider than just like a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. I kind of like, I don't know. I'm not saying that that's more serious, but like marriage is more serious, and then you share a whole bunch of stuff. So it's like, it's harder.
Y'all are better than me because, you know, once a cheater, always a cheater. You did it before, you're gonna do it again. So Kevin, I'm gonna keep the baby, and sorry.
You gonna keep the baby though?
Yeah, it's like it's my baby. I carried it. Like what?
You gonna let him visit or no?
He could have like visitation like once a month, cause you cheated. Like no,
girl.
Like go out and be with the girl that you cheated on with. Well, guys, that's all we have for now. Remember, I'm Tiffany.
I'm Naylin.
And I'm Liv.
And we're gonna close out. Up next, we have Mercedes closing out the night with industry news.
See ya.
Bye.
Hey guys, I'm Mercedes and welcome back to this week's Industry News. Our first news segment of the night comes from HBO. This week, HBO Europe has given the green light for its first ever Scandinavian original series, Gosta. This 8-episode series follows a 28-year-old child psychologist who gets his first job in a small rural town while putting his theories of kindness to the test. The series is directed by Swedish director Lukas Moodysson and is expected for a 2019 premiere. In other industry news, Belo Sanchez, an American Next Top Model alum, has signed with MDN Media this week. Sanchez came in 9th on cycle 22 of the show, but since then he has snagged a job with a fashion contributor with US Weekly and as a production coordinator for Warner Brothers. MDM Media has also signed Love and Hip Hop Atlanta star Erica Dixon. She plans to launch a new fashion line and hair collection. After being pushed to number 4, Gordon Ramsay has been once again ranked as the #1 spot for the Hollywood Reporter's top TV personalities on social media. This chart ranks the most popular TV personalities on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. The ranking takes into consideration viewer engagement along with new followers or subscribers. The Keepers duo Jessica Hargrave and Ryan White were both signed this week by WME. The duo, known as Tripod Media, directed and produced the Emmy-nominated Netflix documentary series The Keepers. This 7-part series centers around the cover-up story of a Baltimore nun's murder. The future definitely looks bright for these two. Our last news piece of the night involves The Walking Dead and a potential lawsuit against them. The lawsuit against AMC is in regards to its series The Walking Dead, and it has executives on their toes. Friday, the first step for a potential trial was taken that could amount to the most significant profits case in TV history. The Walking Dead creator Frank Darabont are claiming that AMC has cheated them by inputting an artificially low license fee for the highest rated cable television series ever. Plaintiffs have suggested that the show should be bringing in $30 million per episode, while it only brings in about $2.4 million right now. We're not sure quite yet if a trial will take place, but if it does, it wouldn't be for the next couple of years. Unfortunately, guys, that's the end of our show tonight, but if you want to see more, don't forget to follow us on Facebook and our Twitter at ENB_IUP-TV. Make sure to tune in next week for more of your favorite movie news. See you next week.